Now, this is a good story. And it has also been accompanied, that's even more creditable, that fiscal deficit, which was 9.2% in the year of the COVID at the union government level, further add another 4.5% or 5% or so in the states, we were looking at a 14% fiscal deficit combined in the country. And now in 25-26, we are looking at something like 7.4%, 7.5%. From 14.2 or 14.3%, we are looking something at around 7.4% and even lower next year. I think a lot of people say that India's fiscal deficit reduction in the last 5 years has been a drag on growth, and that is a bit of a wrong statement to make. Fiscal deficit, a lot of people say, has dragged down the growth rate because the government reduced the fiscal deficit. That is an erroneous and misleading comment to make, because if the government had not done so, the interest rate would have remained much higher in the economy. The government's borrowing cost, which would have meant private sector borrowing costs would have been even higher. So, and if the government had kept the fiscal deficit high, the amount of resources mobilized in the economy by the private sector, which RBI data tells you in the last 5 years has grown at around 28% in domestic markets alone. Not just banks, non-banks, equity fundraising, etc. The growth rate of funds mobilized by the private sector in the Indian economy year after year in the last 5 years has grown at 28% per annum. That would not have been possible if the public sector ran a much higher deficit. So government's fiscal spending contraction or consolidation has not been a drag on the economy, but on the contrary has been a catalyst driving growth in the last 5 years.